10, 9, 4, 3, 1, 0. Okay. By show of hands, anybody want to share something they wrote down? When that, if you're making that kind of money, something better that's going on. By show of hands, who wants to share something?
I will.
Go ahead, Kristen.
So, women, it's always been a passion of mine to help women that are in need. Often we find women that are in need, and just to be able to give them a home and,
You guys have needs too, come on. All right. Wonderful, great cause. Next, please.
Give more so that I can start my street ministry.
Awesome, wonderful. Anybody else? Yes.
I actually, when I start making $30,000 a month, I actually want to start bringing water to third world countries.
Awesome, wonderful. Anybody else? One more. Yes.
I want to pay grandkids college education.
Wonderful, fantastic. So with that in mind, hope that they'll read the stuff that's on your paper, on your phone, the reasons to focus and pay attention. Think about how much time you spend studying stuff in school that you may never use again. You learn and master this stuff and everything good because it changes, improve your life. So who's next?
Paul and Cindy Grosso.
Okay, so this evening what we're going to talk about is replacing whole life with PRImerica life. So there are two differences in insurance. There's term life insurance and then there's the cash value insurance.
Okay, there's also what's called a level term, a decreasing term, an annual renewable term, and a return of premium.
And then there's, so I'm going to go through and explain all of the different policies that are out there, but at the end you'll understand why we did this. We're going to show you the difference of why PRImerica is better. So a level term insurance is for protection for a certain term. It offers a 10, a 15, 20, 25, and a 30-year policy for all other companies. It's pennies on the dollar compared to a cash value. You have more coverage for less money, and then it gives you the frees up money so that you can invest the difference.
So decreasing terms often referred to as mortgage insurance. It's a term where the premiums remain the same, but the coverage decreases over a period of time.
And then there's annual renewable term. It's a 1-year insurance. It renews annually as the client ages, and then every year the cost of insurance also increases.
There's also a term you can get what's called return of premium, where at the end of the term, the company gives you back all the premium that you've had as a refund. The good thing is you're still alive. The bad thing is you're paying so much for that, and you could have invested difference here at PRImerica.
Then there's whole life. It's a guaranteed rate of return at 1 to 5%, guaranteed cash value at age 65. At 100 years, the client receives a cash value which is equal to the face amount. And if the client dies before 100 years old, the beneficiaries get the face amount of the account, and the company keeps the cash value.
So more funny business rules with whole life is first 3 to 5 years, your cash value is typically 0. If you want to take a loan from it, you can take a loan which about 6 to 8% the company will charge you. And if you don't pay that loan before you pass away, that'll come off your death benefit.
And then there's universal life. Universal life is an annual renewable term with money invested into the company's general account for guarantees of 1 to 5%. The guarantee on the money is only the money that's left over after paying the insurance, which is very minuscule. And then if the cost of insurance is higher than the premium, the money is deducted from their cash value.
Also, if your cash value gets down to 0, your insurance goes away. You can get it back, but the company might say, hey, you need to send me a check for $5,000 to keep your coverage going.
And then there's a variable life, universal life. That's an annual renewable term with the rest of the money invested in the company's separate account. There are no guarantees with this one. And then 2 death benefit options with both universal and variable, which Paul will explain.
Option A is when the client passes away, you get the larger of the two, generally the death benefit. The cash value goes back to the company. There is an option B, but it's probably 1 or 2% of all policies, and then you'll know if you have it because your premiums will be skyrocketed.
So let's go through what PRImerica has, okay? We only offer term. We have a 10, a 15, 20, 25, and 30 year, just like all the other companies. However, we went one step further. We have a 35 year. It's one policy for the whole family, giving more coverage for less money, and it's called family banding. It frees up money to buy term and invest the difference, which is what our company is founded on. We have an increasing benefit rider. You can increase your policy for the first 10 years with no medical, and it allows your policy to double over 10. There's no war exclusion, a terminal illness benefit up to 70%, 14-day average payment time, and decreasing term continues the policy until age 100.
So we thought it would be a little fun if we did a simulcast, or not a simulcast, but a simulated phone call. Quite a long while ago, we did Sod trained us on this, and we were like in 5 different locations. I was in a car, Cindy was in her thing, and clients. But anyway, typically what we do is we've done several of these by ourselves now, and we get the client with us at their home or office or whatever, and whatever we say doesn't matter, but what their company says is what truly matters. And if you get them in front of you, once they hear all the answers, then you can write a term policy on them 9 out of 10 times.
So what we're going to do is Paul's going to be the caller with the client. I'm going to be the person on the other phone, the insurance company.
So once we already get the okay, and you need to have their, the clients there, they got okay that you can talk on their behalf. They identify them with their social security card, blah, blah, blah. So, so can you tell me what kind of policy this is?
So this is a real life policy, guys. So yeah, it's a whole life cash value policy.
Is the policy in force?
Yeah, the issue date, yes it is.
Okay, what is the issue date?
11/19/86.
Okay, so this policy's been around for about 30 years, okay? Can you tell me what the death benefit is, please?
Sure, the client has a $50,000 death benefit.
Okay, is there a cash value associated with this policy?
Absolutely, the client has $6,000 in their cash value.
Okay, wow, okay, after 30 years. And what is the monthly premium?
The monthly premium is $20.
Okay. And how are you receiving the premium?
That premium is through a direct bill.
Okay. So from my understanding, you're telling me the client has a cash value and a death benefit?
That's correct.
Okay, so does part of the premium go towards the cash value and the other part go towards the death benefit?
Yes, you would be correct.
Okay. And just for my clarification, does the client own the cash value?
Yeah, and the great thing about it is they can borrow it for a loan.
Really? Oh, that sounds like a great feature. If they were to borrow the money, would they pay interest on that loan?
Yeah, so they would pay about a 6 to 8%, which is really a low interest rate.
Okay, yeah, it sounds pretty low, but my question is you said the money is theirs, correct?
That's correct.
So they're borrowing their own money, but they're being charged an interest rate. Is that what you're saying?
Right, 6 to 8%.
Wow, okay. So, like in a typical 401k policy, or 401k, you can borrow your own money and they charge you interest, but that money goes back into your account. This is pretty similar to that, right?
No, the interest goes back to the company because, for servicing the loan and fees, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I noticed in this policy, I looked at the policy, and for the first 4 years, the cash value is at 0. Can you explain this to us, please?
Yeah, just like the loan, there's fees and administrative costs for this in the first few years.
Okay. So hypothetically, if the client was to pass away tomorrow, what would the beneficiaries receive?
They would receive the $50,000 death benefit.
Okay. So I guess I'm not quite understanding this because you said before that there was a $50,000 death benefit and there was also a cash value of $6,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And I believe, and don't quote me, but I thought you said that the cash value was owned by the client.
Right, they can take loans against it.
Okay, so I'm looking at $50,000 cash, $50,000 death benefit and $6,000 cash value. To me, that's $56,000. Why are the beneficiaries only getting $50,000?
Well, the cash value goes back to the company.
Wow. Okay. So I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the client has paid for 30 years for 2 benefits, but they're only getting 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do have one more question for you. If the client were to cancel this policy, would they receive the $6,000 in cash value?
Yeah, they could get it then.
And how would they do that, and how long would it take?
So to get the cash value, they'd have to have some paperwork that was done, and once it came to the office, you know, they would go through and find out if there were any loans or fees or anything that came out of that cash value, and then we would disperse a check within 30 days.
Wow, okay. Well, we really do appreciate all your answers and for helping us along with this policy, so we do appreciate your time. Thank you.
I